Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dexter, and I welcome you to the Mango Grove on this beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I have here with me the beautiful, beautiful Krisha. Krisha, say hi.
And what's up, you guys? And welcome to the Grove and happy weekend.
Happy weekend indeed, and Bitcoin giving us a happy, happy surprise when we woke up, eh?
Yeah.
Having some nice red candles towards the downside. Krisha waking up with a smile on her face. Krisha has been looking to buy every dip. She's like, it's a dip, buy it. So yeah, Krisha's in bull mode. It's very,
Yes.
very evident. And hey, we have
Yes,
some
sir.
interesting things to talk about. Everybody's panicking, everybody's anxious, but at the Mango community, not much to worry about. We have everything planned for, right? And we do have some interesting things to talk about today. As you guys can see, I do have a nice blue box territory marked down over here. Actually, Krisha's not aware of this. Krisha, I have a blue box marked at around 10,900 to around 10,550-ish, right?
Okay.
Um, I'm not entirely certain if you have the same levels marked. I do know, guys, that Krisha is looking at this as a buy opportunity as well. I'll be sharing my thoughts on this. Kush will be sharing her thoughts on this. We weren't actually planning on doing a video at all today. It's the weekend, and Kush and I have the entire day planned out to be playing video games, some Dead by Daylight.
Indeed.
But hey, Bitcoin is being the monster today, so we're gonna say, you know what? Shoot out a quick video for all of you. Get it out for those of you who are feeling a little anxious, and maybe this video will rest some of those nerves. So let's get started, Krisha. I'm looking at the 2 day at the moment, but I'm going to switch on over to the 4 day candle. 4 day
Okay.
time frame rather, because that's the time frame that we've been eyeing, right? That's the time frame that's given us those massive trade opportunities. And we had a discussion. The last video I mentioned to everybody over here at the Mango community that, hey, this 4 day candle over here, the one on the 16th of August, isn't too awe-inspiring at all, right? It looked a little bit toppy, but we said that this could all be negated if Bitcoin sees follow through on the next 4 day candle. However, if we took out the low, the wick of this 16th August 4 day candle, right over here, coming at around 11,575-ish, if we took out that low, I'd be looking for further downside. And what do you know? We did see further downside, getting all the way down to 11,350-ish, right? So almost a $200 move right after that, immediately transpiring as soon as we took out that low. So now the question is, does Bitcoin bounce over here, or do we come down further? My opinion on this, guys, is that I think that we do see a bounce over here, but if I had to lay bets, I would say that eventually we do come down to around that 11,000 to 10,550 mark. Because I want you guys to keep in mind that the major 4 day resistance level at 12,000 that we've been eyeing for the longest time, right? Over these candle closes over here, we were waiting for the 4 day to close above this. It never did. Yes, the weekly gave us what we wanted, but the 4 day hasn't yet. And remember, we can have almost two 4 day candle closes within a week, and the 4 day has been, in my opinion, the time frame that has been dictating the best plays, and it's been the Mango time frame. And rejecting this over here, taking it on this low over here, makes me believe that we do have a little bit more downside, at least sideways to downside movement, while still perhaps holding those weekly levels. And hey, that's going to give us opportunity across the board. And Krisha, if you do remember, yesterday morning when I woke up, I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm seeing the signs that's making me want to exit all my altcoins, right?
Yeah.
And a few hours into the day, I was like, all right, that's it. I'm convinced. And I mentioned this in the Grove as well as in the Mango Seed. I told you guys that, hey, this is what I'm doing. But you guys may not want to follow me on what I'm doing, especially when it comes to, I was taking profits on ZRX. Usually I like to trade the trend, but when ZRX pumped, I managed to catch that trade. By the way, thank you, Tommy. Big shout out to Tommy. He mentioned it in the seed that ZRX finally broke the key level that we were all waiting for it to. It took so long to do it, but when it did, it moved and moved really well. But usually I was looking to usually when I get into those kind of trades, I look to trend trade it, right? Because these coins can go and go and go. But I was seeing the signs that switched my mindset from a trend trader into a support and resistance trader for that period. And currently I'm out of all my altcoins and just waiting for opportunity. And now Now, because Krisha, you agree we are in the bull market, right?
Yes, sirree.
Dips are for buying, but knowing when to buy and how to buy takes a little bit of more. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't say skill, but it's not as trivial as people make it out to be, right? They say buy the dip. It's not that easy. So in today's video, we're going to be breaking down what we think may happen and how you need to prepare your mindset for all of that. So Krisha, before we move on, is there anything you want to add?
No, I think I'm gonna let you lead on this one. I mean, I have my levels here,
Okay.
so we'll kind of discuss that over the analysis.
Okay, cool. So I have this blue box drawn over here. It's a major support zone for me that I've drawn completely independent of the 4-day time frame. I used many other time frames. The reason I kept it independent of the 4-day time frame is because I want to see if there's confluence. All right, and the 4-day time frame is where I'm going to be making my decisions off. So we're going to start with the weekly now. Okay, and I'm going to turn on the Ichimoku. And we're going to point out very, very quickly that, hey, we have closed multiple weekly candles above the cloud. Okay, we actually even closed a nice weekly candle above that 11,800 level that we've been talking about at the Mango community for a while now. So that's going to be key. However, right now, it looks like Bitcoin is threatening all those levels. We're threatening the 11,750-ish level, and we're threatening the 11,550-ish level, which is the top of the cloud. Okay, so now the question is, do we close this weekly candle, which is closing in a day and 19 hours above the cloud? Okay, this is where it gets interesting, Krisha, because the 4-day is also closing in a day and 19 hours. So the 4-day candle close, Krisha, is going to line up with the weekly candle close. So I would postulate a scenario where we actually close the weekly above 11,550-ish, respecting the weekly, but then the next 4-day candle has its turn to play out. And that's when I think the 4-day may start making its way down to, all the way down to the 4-day Tenkin. All right, so we're seeing some confluence now. Let me turn on my blue box again. And what do you know? That's actually the bottom of the blue box territory. We can turn on the 10 SMA as well quickly on the Mango ribbon. Okay, cool. So we're seeing a lot of confluence over there. The 10 SMA and the Tenkin are lining up with our support zone. Kusha, the 4-day 10 SMA is coming in at 10,900. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And the 4-day Tenkin is coming in around 10,600-ish. So that could be an area that Bitcoin may eventually make its way down. And keep in mind, Kusha, I'm saying eventually, right? Because right now, the weekly will be wanting or will actually try to defend its major weekly level coming in at, we talked about 10,550-ish, right? So we have a day and 19 hours to pull this off, or rather Bitcoin has a day and 19 hours to pull this off. So now we'll be going on over to our lower time frames to see that, hey, is Bitcoin showing any signs of that? And let me clear everything out, switch on over to the, should we look at the 1 hour? Let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, I don't usually do this. Okay, actually, because the 1 hour time frame is hinting a bounce right now. Actually, if we take out this wick over here at 11,482, I do think Bitcoin may actually make its way up to 11,533, which would be a test of that major weekly level that we just talked about. So we may see this happen in today's video live. Let's go ahead and look at the 4 hour. I'd like to see if there's any bullish divergence that's playing out over here. No, there's no bullish divergence. There's no chance of a bullish divergence over here. Perhaps on the higher time frames, but stochastics looking a little bit weak too. So Bitcoin may see that push up over here to 11,500, but I do think it may get sold into. I don't think the 4 hour time frame has the momentum to see the further up thrust. We can go ahead and look at the 12 hour to see if there's any bullish divergence. And actually, there is chance of strong bullish divergence on the 12 hour between the 11th of August and 22nd of August. We are seeing a bullish divergence, potential bullish divergence play out, and this will get triggered. Actually, this is interesting. So if the 1 hour actually, this would, if the next 12 hour candle starts showing signs of closing about 11,545, then I'd be looking for a move all the way to 11,745. So that 12-hour bullish divergence will play out, and it won't be much of a move, but it is a move. It is a strong enough move. We're actually seeing the 1 hour play out right now, Krisha. 11,500 already. But yeah, it is a strong enough bullish divergence move to keep the weekly above its cloud. So you're seeing how this story is getting formulated right now, because we're seeing bullish divergence opportunity right over here. It's not triggered just yet. It will depend on the next 4-hour candle, or preferably the next 12-hour candle. But this may actually go and make its way all the way up to around 11,000. I would say 11,850 to 11,750. That's the zone I'd be targeting for this bullish divergence play. All right. Now, some of you guys might be confused as to how to read bullish divergence. I know a lot of you guys are confused, but don't know that you're confused. And we actually do address this if you guys are on the C program, go ahead and watch the oscillator module and you guys will understand it. Please do not rush things. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and quickly pull up a conversation from the seed program right now. All right, so here's the conversation that took place just this morning, actually, in the Mango Seed private group a couple of hours ago. And Jojo was mentioning how she finally finished the oscillator module. I'm just going to quickly read it out to you guys. She says, Porco, Porco's my Telegram ID, by the way, for those of you who want to contact me. I finally finished the oscillator module last night. Out of all your students, I'd have to be the slowest. So many light bulb and mind-blowing moments. And this is what I want to highlight there. Out of all your students, I'd have to be the slowest, okay? This is key, guys, because even though she's claiming to be slow, right, in terms of going through the content, out of all the students, she's in the handful that really have a strong grasp of the content that I'm teaching. Right? A really, really firm grasp. And you know why? Because she's sitting through each module, spending the time reflecting on the charts and going through the module and the content again, discussing with her other peers. She's discussing with Ollie, discussing with Robert, discussing with Tommy. These are the guys who aren't looking for quick wins. They're actually putting the effort, putting the time, putting the struggle. And she's struggling. She's going through her downs. She's going through her ups, right? But this is what I really wanted to highlight, other than also me getting a chance to show off my... I put a lot of love into the course, guys. So it really makes me feel really, really good when I see these kind of comments. She goes on to say, thank you, Shauna and Krish, for the superb course. Saved me so much pain and frustration. The entire course has just gone... way above and beyond. And yeah, over here she says Mango Seed is really the trading standard. Hey, I'm hoping that Mango can be more about more than just about trading, right? We talk about in the C program, you guys know we talk about everything. It's a very educational group. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to highlight. More importantly, the fact that this is directly a dig at many of you guys, not many, a few of you guys at the C program who are trying to fly through the content. Okay, this is something I know that has been bothering you too, Krisha.
Yeah,
you've mentioned it a few times now, how people are trying to go through the content way too fast, and it will come back to bite you guys in the ass, guys. Like, going through the content fast is not going to help you make profits faster. Life doesn't work that way, okay? This is a profession. This is something that you have to take seriously. Like, you're not going to... And some of you guys are doctors, right? So you guys know that you can't just study to become a doctor in 3 months or 6 months, no matter how much work you put in, no matter how fast you try to go through content. No, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, sorry about that rant. This is just to reinforce the idea that put in the work, be patient, and in the long run, you guys will be profitable. Remember, this is a journey and not a sprint. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down quickly, and we're going to go quickly back on over to charts. And yeah, so like we're talking about, there's a potential for bullish divergence, and I'd be targeting a move to around 11,850 to 11,750. Krisha, your thoughts on this?
I agree with you. So you have 11,850 all the way down to
11,750-ish, somewhere around there. So
okay,
that the 12 or 21.
My level is slightly lower. I have 10,630.
No, apologies. I'm talking about if this bullish divergence does play out.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
you're looking to the upside.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was kind of just focusing. I'm currently on the 12-hour time frame. I was just looking at how price is reacting right now. off of those levels. So I am currently looking at 11,695.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, around that region, all the way up to perhaps the 12-hour 21. But I think that's going to depend entirely on how aggressive the bears are here and how much people actually end up panicking here, because we could very well see a front run of these levels, right? So really depend on that momentum. But at the very least, if this bullish divergence has to kind of trigger, those are the levels I'm going to be looking at.
So you have a really interesting point over there, as in how aggressive the bears are, and something people tend to fail to take into consideration is that the bears can be very aggressive by letting price come up a little bit too, right? Bears could be aggressive in taking profits and reshorting at a lower high. So let's say they decide to take profits at this key level over here. This is a level, by the way, guys, at around 11,400. Yes, it's a level on the lower time frames, but by lower time frames, I mean it's a level on the daily, the 12-hour, as well as the 4-hour, right? You're seeing a little bit of a bounce over here at 11,380-ish. It could be bears taking profits too. Remember, when they take profits, what are they doing? They are buying back their shorts, right? So they are applying buy pressure. But if they are trend trading this, and this does, Kushal, by the way, may turn into a falling wedge on the 12-hour. Anyways,
Yeah,
you're seeing it,
I
eh?
see it. Yeah.
So
Good catch.
if they actually take profits and see a bounce, they'll be looking to reshort at around 11,735, right? So we may see an aggressive bounce, drawing in again the amateur traders who are thinking, okay, this bounce is taking Bitcoin all the way to 20,000, right? I don't want to miss out. I missed my buy opportunity. But that's where the traders get caught off guard, and on the bounce they get sold into, right? They FOMO in on the bounce, which is fine as long as you have a plan, right? As long as you say, hey, I'm going to buy in if this and that happens, and you're not just reacting to what the markets are doing, it's fine. But if you just FOMO in, you could be buying into, again, shorters reapplying their positions, and then we see follow through towards the downside. And this is, Krisha, lining up perfectly with our thesis that, hey, the weekly may respect its weekly level of 11,600-ish, right? We may see a bounce all the way up to there and close the 12-hour above there, and it may line up with the weekly close. And then the next 4-day candle takes over and sees follow through down to 10,800. And Krisha, this is actually looking like we may see, if this plays out the way we just postulated, we may see a falling wedge going into that falling wedge or falling channel going into that major support region we have marked at 10,700-ish.
Yeah.
This will get really interesting.
Yeah, there are a couple of things I want to highlight here, though, Sean. So I feel like if things are very iffy, especially because we are ending a week in about a day and whatever, 19, 18 hours.
Yep.
But we may get an early tell. And I think that early tell will be given to us tomorrow on the daily time frame. So if you get onto the daily time frame and switch on that Ichimoku Cloud, okay, you'll notice there's a C-span trade set up there, okay? And that Kijun is falling right in line with the bottom of, I think it's your range, right? Your blue box territory that you have on your chart. I mean, mine, I have it marked at around 10,630.
Yep.
That's my range. Right. So I think if we lose that 21 EMA tomorrow as well as that Tenkin, right, I think we've lost the 21. How did we close relative to that today? So we closed at 11,531, whereas the 21 EMA was at, where is my data window? Hello.
It's tight. Bitcoin did not make this weekend close easy.
Yeah, so we may see that C-span trade pan out. So it really depend on whether we can take back those levels on tomorrow's close, okay, or we close under. If we close under, I will be looking for further downside on this.
I think we will get the further downside. I just think that it's going to take a little bit longer than people are going to expect. And that's what I really want to emphasize over here, is that people will miss time, how long this will take, and they will get drawn into bad long-term trades that should have been short-term trades, right? If they should be taking those trades at all. So, Krisha, when you asked me to turn on the Ichimoku, I'm beginning to become a little bit more certain that, hey, we may have a prolonged downtrend with bounces, which will play psychological games with a lot of new traders. Because look at the cloud, Krisha. If you just extend into the September region, right? The cloud in a way forecasts what the future trading activity should be, right? Look at the cloud. It's lining up with the Kijun. So what I would expect is for this market to take its time getting all the way to around September, okay, putting in that falling wedge that we discussed, and while the Kijun starts to line up with the top of the cloud, that's when we see the final down thrust into the Kijun, into the cloud, or wicket onto the top of the cloud, finding a lot of support over there, and then we see the move towards the upside. So all this time, one of two things may happen, right, with all coins. Either all coins may use as an opportunity to actually outperform Bitcoin even more, or even all coins are going to have further drawdowns. So we have to keep an eye out for that, Krisha. Now there's going to be opportunity, but we have to look for clues. Just like you said, this daily over here that you pointed out, great spot, because
by the way, Sean, just to go back to your forecast just now of price actually coming all the way down to that daily cloud. Okay, I don't know what sort of angle you have your chart on, but for those of you who are kind of following us on this, just zoom out. Just zoom out of your daily chart and notice the last consolidation that we had, and we put in the symmetrical triangle before we broke out. It did exactly what you just sort of forecasted.
There you go.
It's a very it was funny because you were going through it and I'm looking at this last consolidation phase. I'm like, oh shit. That's exactly what happened here.
Yep.
And then we broke out, right? So it was like a very long sort of drawdown, not long, but it was, kind of a very lengthy drawdown if you're looking in terms of crypto sense, right? This went on for how many weeks? All the way from June 2nd to we had the break on July 20th. So over a month.
Exactly.
Okay, and we put in that falling wedge, which broke to the upside, and then continuation all the way to 12K.
Yep.
So yeah, you're right. We may do something similar even this time. We'll have to kind of wait and watch.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at the 1 hour time frame really quickly. I want to see how this is playing out. I'm really interested to see if this does start showing shape this early. And hey, we've already seen 11,500. Wicked on to 11,500, Krisha. So we may see that bounce today to around 11,550-ish. Okay, the 1 hour candle is going to take maybe a couple of hours to play out, but the 1 hour 21 and the Tenkin is likely going to make its way aggressively down. This is typical Bitcoin, and this is how people are going to start getting shook into positions and shook out of their positions. So be very careful, guys. Doing less is going to be doing more. But yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I've for a fact that I've stopped looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour and all the other hour time frames. I'm focusing only on the daily, perhaps, is the lowest time frame I look at, and the weekly is my primary time frame. And honestly, Sean, every drawdown, I'm gonna be buying. Spot. Like, I'm just accumulating. I did not intend on losing any Bitcoin here.
So Krisha is handling all of our spot buys, and I'm handling the leverage trades. So again, guys, be very, very careful when Krisha is discussing buying on every drawdown. Understand that we have a long-term horizon on our spot buys, right? We are trading that on the monthly time frame, guys, on the monthly, right? So when we are trading on the monthly, we are looking we're looking like literally 2 years down the line. We're not trading this for the short-term movements, so be very careful. However, when we're trading on leverage, that's a different story. You cannot your risk needs to be tinkered according to the time frame that you're playing with, and also whether you're playing with leverage or not. All right, so Krisha, quickly, I want to point out the 4 hour time frame. It actually found support at the bottom of the cloud. Okay, so that's also lining up with how we said that, hey, this is a support region around 11,400. Hey, we may see that push towards the upside, and if we do see a push towards the upside to around 11,500, the bottom of the cloud now lines up with 11,532, and what do you know? That lines up with the top of the weekly cloud. So if this 1 hour does play out and pushes Bitcoin's 4 hour candle above 11,550-ish, the new support region for the bottom of the cloud is going to be 11,550-ish, right? And hey, you're seeing the picture all come together, right? You're seeing the picture all come together. So it'll be really interesting to see how this weekly candle closes. And all of you who are watching, by the way, today, you guys got a glimpse into how I piece together different time frames, right? Only a glimpse, because of course when I'm doing my private analysis in my own time, where I have more time, I can do a lot more. I can look at a lot more. For example, I look at oscillators. I look at you know what? Today, let's go ahead and look at a few oscillators. We looked at the 12-hour already. We talked about how there's a potential bullish divergence over there. We can look at the, I'm more interested in the 2-day, because there was something interesting going on in the 2-day. I haven't followed up yet. And stochastics are looking still bullish. However, we did have potential bullish divergence, not triggering just yet. We did have that first bullish divergence already play out. We already met its resistance region, and now we're seeing it draw down. Let's go on over to the 3-day and see if we have anything going on over there. Krisha, on the 3-day, I'm seeing bearish divergence that may have actually already triggered.
It's funny you just said that. Yeah, this is not just any, dude, this is like pretty strong.
Yeah, and this move, I'd be looking for 10,700. Alright, so let's look at the 4-day oscillators quickly before we wrap this up. And right off the bat, I'm noticing that the 4-day stochastics are actually crossing towards the downside. They haven't confirmed just yet. Again, this candle is closing in 1 day and 18 hours, and we'll be looking for a cross towards the downside, as well as the next 4-day candle also confirming underneath the 79 zone. If we do get that, I'll be looking again for further downside. Looking at the mango mother over here, flashing green, and just it's no longer green over here now. That's really interesting. And Krisha, I'm actually noticing bearish divergence on the 4-day time frame as well. So we're seeing bearish divergence on the 3-day as well as the 4-day. Have we? And yeah, of course, we've already triggered the 4-day divergence on the 4-day time frame as well. So we are seeing 3-day divergence triggered, 4-day divergence triggered. For the 4-day, I'll be looking for a move down to around 10,564. So a lot of signs, Krisha, pointing down to an eventual move. Remember, guys, an eventual move to 10,500. I started off this video saying that we are likely going to see a bounce here, right, going into this weekly close. In fact, I think Bitcoin's doing it right now. Let's, Krisha, switch on over to your 1-hour time frame. Bitcoin sitting at 11,000. There it is. Made its way to 11,600-ish pretty much already. Testing. Wow. There we go. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get this video out for you guys in time. There was no way we could have, of course, because we were watching this play out live. And this is how you get those really nice trade opportunities, right? Even in a bear market, you could be playing these. This was a really, really obvious play, and I would have likely taken the play had I not been doing this video. But yeah, easy one over here, really easy. Now the question is, how does this all play out, right? How do we see the follow through? Now we're going to be seeing the cascading effect. We talked about this 4-hour candle. So Krisha, we can now turn back on over to the 4-hour time frame, switch on over to the Ichimoku, and see like, okay, cool. If this 4-hour candle closes like this and confirms above here, then we're going to have 2 4-hour candles above 11,550-ish, which is going to make the new base of the cloud 11,550-ish, right? And that's how you see the story unfold going into the weekly, and that's how you have your narrative to trade. So hey, Krisha, anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it. I think you covered much of it.
This morning you were talking to me about something really cool on the monthly time frame. Do you want to go over that for the Mango Group?
Oh, I was just sort of looking at, so I was looking at this one region that you have, basically your blue box territory that everyone can hopefully see on your screen, right? If Bitcoin does end up making its way down to that region, okay, now we do close a monthly in about a week and 2 days. So if you go on over to your monthly and you look at, now I'm sure a lot of you who watched our last video on that monthly close, you guys would know that, Bitcoin actually did take out a monthly level.
Yes.
We closed over. Coming back down to retest that blue box territory of yours, Sean, will line up. It's at 10,768, right? So that lines up. I'm guessing that's somewhere within your box. So, I mean, there's confluence there as well, even on the monthly time frame. And once again, it's a very classic play that, you have that breakout, you have that retest, and then a possible continuation to the upside.
That is so true, because that is a 10,700 is a major monthly level as well. So you're seeing confluence now on 10,700 across the 3-day, the 4-day, the 12-hour, the daily, the monthly. Man, so do you think we could dip any further than that? Below 10,700?
Really depend on how some of these major candles close, because before that, it's going to be a very hard one to forecast. I mean, Bitcoin has taken out some major sort of resistances on many of the higher time frames. So, anticipating an even further sort of downside is just it's premature right now.
Yep.
It's too premature. I think still, even if you just zoom out of the picture, the momentum, it's a bullish momentum.
Oh, yeah.
And that cannot be kind of refuted.
Discounted, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I don't want to see, Krisha? I don't want to see this monthly close underneath 10,750-ish. I don't want to see that. That would not be the best look. Losing that level right after taking it, not the best look. So we have 9 days for Bitcoin to defend that level, and that would be really be setting the tone. Over everything else, that would be setting the tone for me. If we close this month underneath 10,000, let's say 500-ish, that would not be a good look for me. I don't know about you, but that would not be a good look for me. So 9 days, 18 hours, so 1 week and 2 days for Bitcoin to prove itself to us.
Yep. Yes, sirree. But yeah, that's all. I mean, that's the one cool thing that I found. So yeah, that's that.
Cool. So my name is Sean Dexter. Her name is Krisha.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Do it the mango way. Do it the stress-free way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.